Hi guys! Today I'm very quickly going to film my August film and TV favourites. Where has August gone? The past couple of months have just been TV favourites because really I've only been watching TV stuff, but this month I have 3 films and 3 TV shows to talk to you guys about. Knowing my love for rambling, I am going to try and keep this brief, but I hope that you enjoy it. So to quickly get out of the way, a couple of things that I have already talked at length about. 2 of the TV shows that I have been enjoying through the month of August have been Pretty Little Liars and Parks and Recreation. This has been the same for the past couple of months because I have been loving these shows and watching them as much as I possibly can. With Pretty Little Liars, if you've seen my Twitter account, if you have seen anybody who watches Pretty Little Liars Twitter account, you will know that it was the big reveal through August. On August 11th, I think it was, we found out who A was, which was really what the entire show has been building up to over the past 6 seasons. The big reveal has divided opinion quite a lot. I still haven't quite decided how I feel about it yet. I'm still kind of mulling it over weeks after the event, but it was exciting, I will give it that, and the last few episodes in the lead up to the big reveal were absolutely fantastic. And honestly, if you've not watched PLL yet, please watch it because it's such a fun experience. And in terms of Parks and Recreation, I have now reached season 5. I think I'm on about episode 5 or 6 of season 5 now, and it's just so good. Amy Poehler just is like my spirit animal. I love her so much, and the show is just so easy to watch. It's so well written, it's so funny, it's so touching, and the season 4 finale, which I hadn't watched by the time I made my last favourites video, I just cried. In fact, I think it was a week ago today that I watched it, and I just like sat and cried my eyes out. It was just so lovely. And the final TV show that I have been raving about through August is Hand of God. Now my last video was completely dedicated to this show, so if you haven't watched it yet and you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description box and there'll be one on the end card to go and check out my review of the pilot and my discussion of the screening and the Q&A with some of the cast at Edinburgh TV Festival last week. Hand of God is a new Amazon show. It piloted months ago on Amazon, but the full series, which is 10 episodes long, is going to be live to stream as of the 4th of September. Oh wait, is this after the 4th of September? Haha! By the time you're watching this video, it will all be live to stream. I just had to do a little calculation in my head there and figure out when the 4th of September is. But the 4th of September is next Friday. You will be seeing this video next Sunday. This is the previous Sunday. Yeah, by the time you're watching this video, all 10 episodes are going to be live to stream on Amazon Instant Video / Amazon Prime. I do apologise about the croakiness of my throat today. I don't know what's going on. I have my new drink of choice. I'm going to try and tip this. You're not going to be able to see it. Can you see that? I'm now drinking hot lemon water, which has apparently got about 100 health benefits, and it's actually really nice. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking today. Anyway, back to the main topic of this video. Is an excellent new TV show. Honestly, I couldn't recommend it enough. I'm not going to sit and talk at length about it because I really would recommend that you, self-promotion, really would recommend that you go and watch my review of the episode where I really talk about it in depth. It's set in America, and the judge, who's played by the fantastic Ron Perlman, suffers a bit of a breakdown following a family tragedy, and in the wake of this breakdown he starts hearing voices from God and sees himself as born again and finds religion in a way that he never found it before. And the story really is about how that all impacts on his family, how the tragedy is being dealt with, and lots of other issues with crime and the law and family dynamics and con artistry and everything all kind of, wrapped into the one show. And now on to the films. So this month I actually got my Cineworld Unlimited card, which I'm very excited about. I've only used it twice so far, but that's because this month has been a bit all over the place in terms of new jobs and stuff. But as of next month, hopefully I'm going to go to the cinema a whole lot more. But the 2 films that I saw this month were Inside Out and Gemma Bovary. I'm going to talk about Inside Out first because I guess that's going to be one that a lot of you will have known about. But it's a new Pixar film and it's got an incredible voice cast including Amy Poehler, Mindy Kaling, Phyllis Smith, Bill Hader and lots more. So as a Pixar film, as you would expect, it is a comedy film but with a lot of kind of sad and dramatic moments sewn into it. And I knew that I was going to love this film from seeing the trailer and seeing people talk about it. I knew that I was going to love it before I'd even gone into it. The basic premise of this story is that it is set inside the head of a little girl. Her name is Riley, and we get to meet 5 of her different emotions in the form of little people who live inside her head. So we have Joy, who's voiced by Amy Poehler, Sadness, who's voiced by Phyllis Smith, who plays Phyllis in The Office. If you have watched The American Office, then you'll know who she is from that, and she's fantastic. Her voice is so perfect. The way that she does this is honestly, it's perfect. You have to go and see the film to know what I mean, but she's absolutely spot on. Fear, who is voiced by Bill Hader, Anger, who's voiced by Lewis Black, and Disgust, who is voiced by the fantastic Mindy Kaling. So what then happens is when we meet these little characters who live inside Riley's head, we find that they are kind of helping her figure her way through her life and helping her figure how to react to certain situations. So they kind of have their own little like tussles inside her head of how do we react to this. So when she's small and she falls, it's Fear and Joy having a kind of argument over whether or not she should cry about this or whether she should just get up and shake it off. And Joy, Amy Poehler's voice is perfect for Joy. It just I think when you just listen to her, you do just feel slightly uplifted. It's very, very good. I would highly recommend it. The next film that I went to see is probably one that not as many people will have heard of, but I went to see Gemma Bovary last week. This is a film that was directed and co-written by Anne Fontaine, who wrote Coco Before Chanel. It stars Gemma Arterton, Fabrice Lucchini, Jason Fleming. It is set in France, and so the film is predominantly in French with subtitles, so if you're not a subtitle fan, know that before you go into it. I think because Gemma Arterton's on the poster, you tend to assume that it's going to be an English film. But it is predominantly in French. There are moments throughout it that there is English dialogue between the character that Gemma Arterton plays and her husband, who's played by Jason Fleming. There are moments between them that the conversation is obviously in English, but anything outside of their little bubble in their house really is in French. It tells the story of a couple played by Gemma Arterton and Jason Fleming, who are Charlie and Gemma Bovary. So they moved to a kind of countryside village in Normandy for a bit of a lifestyle change, and when they move in there, their neighbour is a baker named Martin, played by Fabrice Lucchini. He becomes sort of obsessed with them due to their surname. He is obsessed with the novel Madame Bovary, and he starts to kind of see their behaviour replicating what happens within the novel. It's this sort of weird mashup of fantasy and reality, and this line of where fiction sort of blurs into reality and how people can get kind of carried away with the idea of this fictional tale and putting that onto people who live in their real world. I think from things that I've read, this film hasn't been particularly well received. Like, people have thought that it's been okay, but nothing particularly great. And then a couple of reviews that I've read have been really negative about it. I actually really enjoyed it. It's not a film that I think is going to be, winning Oscars left, right and centre, but I thought that it was fun. Very, very beautifully filmed, very, very lovely scenery. The French sort of village that it's set in is so beautiful. It was just one of those films that I'm probably not going to go and watch it again, but I really enjoyed it for the hour and a half or however long I was in the cinema for. And the last film that I'm going to talk about, I actually just watched last night. I had been out and I got home and realised that this was on Netflix and was really excited, so started watching it really late at night, which was a bit daft. But it was Love, Rosie. This is a film that is directed by Christian Ditter and is based on the novel Where Rainbows End by Cecilia Ahern, who, as you guys know, is one of my favourite authors. I absolutely love her. I haven't actually read this one, ironically. It's one of the few Cecilia Ahern novels that I haven't actually read yet. The film stars Lily Collins and Sam Claflin, who I really like both of them, and I know that I love Cecilia Ahern's writing, so I felt that this was going to be the film for me. It's also a kind of romantic comedy sort of a movie, so obviously I'm going to be on board, and I really loved it. Love, Rosie tells the story of two childhood best friends, Rosie and Alex, who have grown up together, and when they were teenagers they had a sort of missed opportunity to get together and then go off to college and go their separate ways. So they're separated by distance and by other relationships and whatever, but their friendship remains throughout the years. They stay in contact for the most part. It's just a sort of series of missed opportunities. It's just, you're watching it just sitting going, oh, for heaven's sake, come on. Just abandon these other people who you're hanging out with right now and get back to each other. It's very, very sweet, it's very romantic, it's lovely. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, because I know people who aren't into the kind of sort of cheesy romantic film are probably not going to be on board with this, but I thought the acting was really good because, as I say, I really, really like Lily Collins and I like Sam Claflin. There were a few kind of twisty, turny moments that I really enjoyed, and if you're just looking for a nice film to pass an evening, definitely go and check this out. It's really, really lovely. It is a nice story, which I think is kind of just typical of Cecilia here, and she knows how to write a really, really nice story. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So this video is much longer than it was supposed to be. Hopefully I'm going to be able to kind of chop it down just to make it concise. But thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go now, but I hope that you've been having a lovely weekend, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye! The event that I went to the other night that I just mentioned was the screening of Hand of God at the Filmhouse Cinema in Edinburgh for the Edinburgh TV Festival. So they had a couple of screenings.